So this is how I like to propagate my seeds at first. These are little dishes of water, and I like to plop the seeds down in there and get them fully rehydrated before planting and almost to the sprouting phase. It really reduces how many seeds are going to rot away in the soil, and especially with tomato seeds, you can tell which ones are hydrated. They sink right to the bottom very easily. Corn kernels, they'll stay at the bottom, but they'll hydrate pretty fast. I don't recommend using warm water. I recommend using room temperature water. If you have a heat mat you want to put your things on, you can. It's going to cause quite a bit of evaporation. If you have a hard, hard shelled seed, I would recommend a long soak time. Basically, till you see it start cracking. Uh, Anything that has a ridge, mostly your melon seeds, I would recommend actually peeling the ridge off with your thumbnail. And for soft starters like corn here, uh, they will absorb the water quick. They'll go into the germination stage pretty quick. No real poking around needed. Tomato seeds, I like to give it a stir once in a while, get those floaters covered in water, get them absorbing to see whether or not they actually have a seed cell inside. And yeah, soaking my seeds gives me pepper plants that come up in 7 days. Uh, you know, most of my seed starts never take that long, and it's pretty interesting uh, how much time you could actually save with soaking and pre-starting your seed. Uh, I know Ed Curry says his reapers take 2, 3 weeks to sprout. Well, not in my house. In my house, 6 to 7 days. It's always been that way with pepper seeds. Ever since I started drying them, I figured out, remoisturizing them is the way to go. Uh, I also like to propagate ivy cuttings. It's a very easy plant to propagate. Loves sending out roots. Almost impossible to murder the plant. You've really got to not try with it to murder it. And the Eve's pin, which is a great plant to grow for hobbyists. Uh, don't plant it outdoors, won't survive Canadian winters, that's for sure. But I enjoy growing it because it's another easy one where just one single plant can turn into so many others. And yeah, I keep buckets of water in my room to keep the hydration level in the air at least a little bit up. Also a fan. And it would seem the biogel likes to grow in that water, so I'm going to be experimenting with it soon. I wish I had the equipment to tell exactly what type of gases it's putting off. So far, they don't seem to be harmful to me, but you never know. Uh, these were cleaned with Javex, and this is nothing but tap water and sunlight, and it's either some sort of yeast or something has started to colonize, and I'm not exactly sure where its food source is coming from, whether or not there are two competing contaminants, but I would be really interested to have like a closed in space where I could actually monitor the levels of what gases are coming out and determine, you know, what this is and whether it has any future use. Because even if this puts off slightly dangerous gases, this could be the way to terraform Mars. We don't know. You know, if we just stop looking into every little thing because we think we know what we're looking for, or think we know what we're looking to see, or looking to find, or going to find, we'll never find that offshoot, that thing, that amazing thing. Like, I would one day love for one of my pepper plants to turn out to be something different to where I could claim some fame, but everything in due time. I have many ideas that I'd like to do, even though I'm disabled and it's rough for me to walk. I'm sure that with time, luck, and ability, I can overcome anything I want to overcome, especially if I'm happy. which I'm trying to be happy. Not an easy thing to do. I'm thinking about started exercising and getting back into shape for the parts of my body that are still in good condition, and to start stretching the muscle that is my mind, because I don't want to be stuck in this room forever on disability. I would rather be known as the guy who, at 40, decided he wasn't going to wait for the world anymore. You know? One thing I would like to do is create a greenhouse on a scale not seen before. There's this thing called the Canadian Shield here in Canada, and it's pretty useless for growing things, but for building the world's largest greenhouse structure and feeding a hemisphere, might have some interest. It might be one of those things where the only thing good to come out of it is the food, because the profit really wouldn't mean that much to me, and I don't think it should be a thing profited off by money. Money has never been my main goal or objective. Seeing things get done and seeing the world change at an ever evolving pace really is what I truly wish to see for this world. That's why it's so hard for me to see everyone gouge in at the profit and try to take it home at the end of the day, because the only real profit it'll ever be is to humanity. Like, to every rich person out there, like, that's holding on to your money in your bank account because you're scared, and at the end of the day you don't end up doing anything with it. Seriously, send it to me. I know it sounds ludicrous. Send money to just some random dude. But I promise you, when you see what I can do with it, it'll bring you a type of joy that you've never had in your entire life. Because you'll know that you helped make something great. Something that has the potential to heal the wounds of our world right now. Because if there's one way I would want to put Canada on the map in every other country, it would be Canada. Such a great country. Has those giant greenhouses and that guy who fed the fucking world when nobody else would. And what did he want for it? Just a smile. A thank you. To see countries in peace instead of goddamn war. And I have a feeling that we'd be one step closer to peace if at the end of the day we all had 3 meals that we could say were delicious, non-expensive, sometimes even free, from a country that had no obligation to do it and asked nothing of us. But until somebody rich comes knocking on my door and says, here's the seed money, I'm going to be sitting here trying to earn it myself, one video at a time. This video might be only 9 or 10 minutes long, but in the grand scheme of things, maybe that's all it really takes to save the world. 10 minutes of your time, a change of your perspective, and a change of your world. I'd like to provide enough food to all the countries to where they could make their national dishes and share it with the rest of the world. I don't even care if it's an MRE format. I don't care if it's, I just want to see the food out there, and I want to see that turn from an industry to make money to the foothold that pushes humanity into the next era. I'm sure Elon is going to need tons of free food. He wants to send people to Mars. I'm sure paying for it would be psychotic. But getting it done for just the cost of business, training people on how to use equipment, heck, providing that equipment when they leave. We don't want to see them just get trained and walk away. We want to see them get trained and hone their craft. So, gotta move the world forward. Profit has to be spent to profit us all. Keep whatever you want at the end of the day, as long as you're giving away at least half of what you're keeping. I think that'd be an even trade.
And, you know, for the sake of your children's children, we should do this now. Because the quicker we do this, the quicker the entire world industry gets thrown back into overdrive. And we start seeing miracles happen every day. Because I'm sick and tired of waiting, guys. You know? You want a miracle? Let's create one together.